Welcome. I'm jumping right into this one today. We've all heard the expression, or maybe you haven't, of sitting with it. Sit with it. What does that mean? Really means like when we've got something going on, you gotta sit with it for a little while. Think about it. Feel it. What does it feel like? Sit with it. But for many people, this is a scary concept. Because when we sit with ourselves, when we sit with what we're feeling, when we sit with a problem, it's uncomfortable. There's uncomfortable sensations that come up, there's uncomfortable emotions that come up, and it doesn't feel good to sit in discomfort. I mean, we're human. We try to go more towards what feels good and away from what doesn't. But the key is to sit with it. To sit with it. Sit with the thoughts that are going on in your head. Sit with the emotions that are coming up. Sit with the sensations. Sit with and when you practice this, you can eventually sit with the anxiety, or sit with the sadness, or sit with the addictions. So even as I'm speaking, right, is this already making you uncomfortable, a nerve? It's like, yeah. Why would I want to sit with myself? Why would I want to sit with all of those thoughts that are going on in my head? Because the alternative, what do we do if we don't sit with it? We run from them. We run from it. We numb these emotions and sensations. We ignore them. We deny them. We might drink them away. We might eat them away. We might smoke them away, shop them away, sleep them away, right? Distract them away with, some other sort of drama, somebody else's drama. We might blame them away, but there's no solution in that. There's no healing in that. So for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to challenge everybody to sit with yourselves, sit with whatever is bothering you, sit with that uncomfortable feeling, that uncomfortable sensation. The only way to transform the discomfort is to sit with it. So what happens when we sit with it? Oh yeah, that mental chatter comes all up. We don't feed it, and this is where meditation comes in. Like, healing happens when we allow ourselves to feel. And meditation is an effective and beneficial tool that helps us do that. The trick is, you got to do it on a regular basis. Because if you just go, okay, I'm going to try this, then I'm going to sit with it, and then we think we're our thoughts, we think we're our emotions, and we get all caught up in it, and we say we can't do it anymore. But when you practice meditation, you practice sitting, you practice observing all of those thoughts. You start to understand that you have thoughts, but you're not those thoughts, and you're having these emotions come up, but you're not actually those emotions. And we start to observe what we're thinking and what we're feeling. And then we're able to sit with it. And so when uncomfortable sensations come up for us, we don't feed them. We don't entertain them. We just observe them. But we also don't fight them. We also don't try to resist them. And in that ability to sit there, to sit with the emotions or sit with the thoughts without needing to judge them or fight them or feed them, we then simply feel them, listen to them, and here is what transforms them. We learn from them. We learn. And when we can learn from the emotion instead of ignore it or numb it or push it away in whatever vice you want to push it away with, and instead sit with it. And when we learn, there's no power over us anymore. The discomfort shifts. We're able to release it. And this is what meditation helps us to do. It helps us to drop into ourselves, to sit with ourselves. And this can be a very scary concept. I mean, for years, for me personally, I was just too busy. I'm still busy. I'm always busy. That's my thing. And I'm too busy to meditate. And I hear that all the time. You know what I realized? I realized that my busyness was just really distracting me from looking at my life. And in the sitting, there was this inner voice that I didn't always like what it said. And so I didn't sit. I didn't sit with it. I didn't feel it until my life got crazy and out of control, and my emotions, and I battled with anxiety. And then I realized I had to go in and I had to sit with it. And as I sat with it, I listened. And as I learned to listen and instead of getting caught up in all of the stories my mind was, I mean, there's voices in our head, and we listen to them. There's voices of fear. When I stopped feeding the fear or entertaining the fear and instead just listen to it, when I stopped fighting it and then listen to it, it had a message for me. What sitting in meditation did for me, and sitting in the uncomfortable sensation or thought or feeling, what that did for me, is it helped me transform my fears. It helped me transform all my emotions. And so when things come up for me, I can now sit with it. And I can listen to the voice of fear, because it's going to show up. It will, I'm human. But I've learned to embrace the voice of love. So as I sit and I observe, and I can feel it, I can feel the fear. I don't feed into it. I don't entertain it. I listen to it, I feel it. And in this process, we learn. You're showing up for me. It's like, sit down, fear, or sit down, whatever it is, doubt or worry, whatever it is. What do you have to teach me? What do you have to show me? And in that, we make friends with that voice in our head, that inner voice that always, takes us down into worst case scenarios. We make friends with it. We learn to have a conversation. And then we learn to embrace that other inner voice within us that comes from a place of love. And in this, it's always going on. We're no different. We're all the same. We all have the mind. We all have the inner voices. So which one are you going to feed? Which one are you going to entertain? And until we can lean back and sit with it, that's what this is. We sit with it. We can transform it. We can release it. We can let it go. We can't let it go if we're denying it or pushing it away. So let's tap this in. And the tap in part of this, the movement part of this, is really crucial. I would suggest doing this. Let's just start with the bounce. Everyone, this is such a foreign concept to me. When we start to move our body, like just bounce, we start to move things. We start to feel a little better. Or maybe we don't. We start to dislodge different things. But we are now opening our mind to being with whatever is coming up, whatever thought, whatever emotion, whatever sensation. Pain in the body. Pain in our body is a message for us. Okay? Shake things up a little bit. Shake things out. Feel it. There is never an exception to that rule. We have pain, we have discomfort that we're feeling physically in our body. It is a message. There's an emotion attached to that somewhere. There's a memory attached to that somewhere. Let's march it out. Let's get things moving. Lift up the opposite leg and just touch into it. You got it. Okay, things are stirring up. Let's just tap in. Let's tap into our body. Okay, you go down anyway, but just tap in. Go down and come back up. And if you got something going on in the knee or the hip or the low back, I want you to take a little bit extra time and just tap in. And what we can do here, we can have that internal conversation. All right, fear. Right? All right, hips. All right, that sore knee. What do you got to teach me? I'm willing now to stir things up and sit with it. Sit with you. What do you got for me? Okay, shake that out. And then rub your hands together. And we're going to tap in underneath our eyes. So take a moment to really feel your feet into the ground. And be ready. Right? This is allowing things to move through us. I'm willing. I'm going to ground in my energy, and I'm willing to sit with it. I'm willing to sit with this discomfort. And then we come down to the collarbone. Right? I like to cross my arms, but this gets our energy moving in the right direction. What's the right direction? We're going to gather up all the courage to sit with whatever it is, whatever discomfort shows up for you, whether it's pain, whether it's an emotion, whether it's thoughts, whether it's a situation. Bring it up. Be willing to sit with it. Okay, tap into the thymus. Conjure up all the emotions that cut off this heart center. Who are you blaming, or what are we blaming, or what are we not willing to sit with? What are we so afraid of in that mental mind? We're not our thoughts. We're not our emotions. Learn to sit with them and see them for what they are. Messages. They're just messages. And then when we stop fearing them so much, or stop giving them so much power, how do we stop giving them so much power? We sit with them. Go, all right, what do you got to show me? And then we have the opportunity to open up our heart. We sit with ourselves. And we tap in. We get to metabolize it all. These are our metabolism points. Right? So if you do this bounce shake, tap in here, you gather up the courage. And then you shake it out. And then I like to cross my energy here. And then you're ready. Sit. Drop into your body. Notice what you're feeling, where you're feeling it. Notice the thoughts. Notice the emotions. Notice the feelings in your body. Without trying to fix anything. You just observe and notice. Sit with it. Learn to breathe. So I don't know if I can do this. I don't know how to. A regular meditation practice will help you get into that space where you can sit with it. Okay? So learn to meditate. Okay? Now I'm offering some meditation. The 5-week course on it starts tomorrow. We've got recordings. You can watch those. You can learn in the comfort of your own home. I also do it in person, Tuesday evenings on the west end of Edmonton. If you want to do it in person. But do this. If you don't want to take it from me, find another source or somewhere that you can learn to meditate. Do this. This is going to change your life, and it's going to allow you to tune into all of these lessons we get to learn, so we can release the pain, we can release the discomfort. And what's on the other side of that is this is uncomfortable work to do. Bliss, happiness, a connection with ourselves, a whole different way of looking at the world. So contact me if you want any more information on that. And if you already have a regular practice, awesome. Then you know how so very powerful and empowering sitting with it is. We never ever get it done. I still got to sit with a lot of stuff, and I always will, but I know how to. and I take that power within myself. Thank you, my friends. Next week, there is no tap in or blog, so you got 2 weeks to really sit with this. And if you want to start in on a meditation, the time is now. Thank you. Namaste. Have yourself a wonderful couple of weeks.